you're saying that some of, personal dreams, ideas, a little bit readjusted to where actually you might get support from a larger partner rather than be so individualistic in your own ideas. In your own ideas. And I think that's an interesting thought. We talked a little bit in the morning too about partnerships, and that the biggest, mindset change sometimes one has to make in partnerships is that you have to let go a little bit and think about it. And I think you're pointing us in the same direction. Chanda, in the interest of time, I know people on the floor will have a lot of questions. So one last question I want to ask you. We all say, how does Chanda manage to keep that calm, cool look all the time? What's the secret of that? I mean, do you do something special to keep that all the time? Because it must be challenging many times.
No, I don't do anything special to keep that, but I think the only thing I always keep at the back of my mind is that by losing your calmness, you don't get anything anyway. So, when times are difficult, in fact, the only thing that can find you a solution is if you have a calm mind. And in fact, as you grow, either in your business or in your organization, and as you have more and more people working as a team for you, I think your job becomes to, really becomes that, be that sponge which in a way absorbs the pressure of the outside. Because only if you absorb the pressure, you are allowing your team to be free and focus on the work. So I think it's really absolutely essential to be calm and composed, because that's the only way you are allowing your team to work, and you're allowing your mind to think of solutions rather than getting bowed down by the pressures of the challenges around.
Because, I've always thought, do you do yoga, do you do meditation, do you do what, or does it just come naturally? So,
unfortunately, I haven't got the time to do it. I would have loved to do, but I don't have time to do it. But maybe, therefore, I don't have time to lose my temper as well. There's just so much to do.
Okay, I'm going to open, to the floor for questions, because we have just about 15 minutes, and I know all of you are waiting to ask questions. So, who's the first question from? Yes, lady. Can you get the mics, please? Yeah.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm Swagata from Calcutta. I'm an interior designer, and fortunately, we have been working with ICICI Bank too in the Pan-Eastern region. Ma'am, what I wanted to know is service is a very important element of our field, and I just wanted to know your views on service.
Yeah, I think service is, especially in any field where you are dealing with customers, I think service becomes a very, very important facet, not just to maintain the level of business that you have, but in a way, I think service feeds into sales. Because if your service is good, that just becomes by itself a momentum that will generate the word of mouth, and that will give you the next sale. So I think in that sense, focus on service is, I would say, equally important, if not more important than just building, focusing on sales. And if you look at it, keeping that in mind, we in ICICI launched what we call Khayal Aapka, because, and that was just about 2 years ago, where we said that, what we want to convey to our customers is that we are not here just to keep providing you products and just to get business from you, but we are here for you. So everything that we do is, with Khayal Aapka, with keeping you in mind. So as we design products, it's with keeping the customer's needs in mind. As we design channels on how to distribute those products, it's with keeping customers' needs in mind. And as we interact with the customers on a daily basis, I think each interaction is very important. And what I tell my people actually is that while we can, engage as expensive a brand ambassador as we may want and get that brand ambassador to do all the ads for us, but actually it is thousands of my staff at every branch who's my biggest brand ambassador. Because if he or she delivers that one transaction in a nice manner to the customer, that's the moment of truth for the customer. And that is what convinces the customer to either give me the next round of business or not give me the next round of business. So actually, I tell my people that all of you are my biggest brand ambassadors. And clearly, service, I think, is something that's not just important to keep your sales, but to build on your sales and your business.
Yeah. Can I have the back there?
Thanks for the inspiring talk, Chanda. My question is regarding funding. Now, does ICICI have any products for SMEs in respect to funding, or especially in relation to women entrepreneurs? Thank you.
Yeah, we have a lot of products for SMEs. In fact, it's not just funding, but we believe that, for SMEs, what is equally important is to make sure that their day-to-day productivity is very efficient. So, services that can make their banking very efficient in terms of transfer of funds across India, or, getting their next foreign exchange quote very quickly, or, the next LC that has to be opened very quickly, and so on. So I think we actually have a huge amount of bundle of products that we offer to the SMEs. But I must confess, we have nothing special for women entrepreneurs. Because I do believe, male or women, I think finally it's the business logic of the business that has to really deserve the funding or any other banking support. And that is really gender blind. That's really gender neutral. So, we look at a business proposal irrespective of whether it comes from a male or a female.
Chanda, here in TSS, we have been trying to work the last few months to see whether we can get a small, angel fund for women entrepreneurs. I mean, we were looking at the idea of, women for women to see whether we could raise. So we want to experimentally actually see in the next year. I mean, we're trying to do something very small, just, 1-2 crores, because a lot of women also look at small, under 10 lakhs and so on. So I think we do take the point that there's not enough, enterprise for that level, and you'll find a lot of questions, that's why repeatedly on funding. But I think we all have to experiment to see whether we can get something that's meaningful, and as you said, the business plan has to speak for itself. And I think we all as women have to accept that unless our plans speak, there is finally no free lunch, and we have to be able to make our plans speak. Yes?
Mike, mere paas hai.
The lady after her. Let her finish. Yeah.
मैं चूँकि लिटरेचर की स्टूडेंट हूँ तो मैथ्स से थोड़ा सा अलग जाना चाहूँगी. मेरा सवाल ये है, जो हम पहले भी बात कर रहे थे कि एक प्रोफेशन से अलग पर्सनल लाइफ में, कि आई थिंक हमारे यहाँ जितनी भी महिलाएं बैठी हैं उनके सभी के सवाल ये होगा कि हम लोग जब कुछ काम करते हैं जो एक निर्धारित सीमा है कि ठीक है घर का काम है, लेकिन जहाँ हम बाहर काम करना शुरू करते हैं हम कदम कदम पर अपने आप को जस्टिफाई क्यों करते हैं, चाहे वो पेरेंट्स हों, फ्रेंड्स हों या फिर बच्चे हों, कि अगर मैंने ऐसा किया तो इसके पीछे ये कारण था. हम अपने आप को क्यों एक गिल्ट आने देते हैं, तो वो हम जानना चाहेंगे कि उससे हमारी काफ़ी एनर्जी ड्रेन हो जाती है, मतलब आगे बढ़ने से पहले हम 4 कदम पीछे चले जाते हैं. तो उस पर मैं जानना चाहूँगी कि हाउ लॉन्ग, मतलब कहाँ जाकर हमें अपने आप को जस्टिफाई करना है, और कौन लोग इस बात के अधिकारी हैं कि जिन्हें हम ये कहें कि भाई हमने इसलिए किया क्योंकि इसके पीछे कारण था.
You want me to answer in Hindi or in English? I can do either.
Can you answer in Hindi?
नहीं, पर आप ये सोचिए कि आप क्यों जस्टिफाई करते हैं. आप इसलिए जस्टिफाई करते हैं कि आपके माइंडसेट में ये है कि अरे मैं एक महिला हूँ, मैं ये स्टेप ले रही हूँ, शायद मुझे जस्टिफाई करना है. I think that is the most important and the biggest obstacle in the minds of all the women. That is, we believe ourselves that because we are women, we are not supposed to have a career. We are not supposed to have a business. And that's why every step that we take, we have to justify it. I think the biggest thing for all us women is really to get out of this mindset. I think the biggest thing for all of us is to treat ourselves as individuals. And if we treat ourselves as individuals, we have to say, okay, I'm doing, I want to set up this business, I want to have this career, and I will give to it what it takes to make a success out of that career. Of course, at the same time, ये नहीं हम कह सकते कि हमारी जो family responsibilities हैं उसे हम ignore करें. I think there is no reason to ignore it. In fact, I think it's a privilege that we have these responsibilities. It's a privilege that we have a role of a mother to play to take care of our children. But जब हम dual role play करेंगे, किसी दिन हमें एक स्कूल की मीटिंग मिस करनी पड़ेगी अपने काम के लिए, पर किसी दिन एक वर्क की मीटिंग मिस करनी पड़ेगी क्योंकि हमें स्कूल जाना है. तो ये एक डेली प्रायोरिटाइजेशन करना होता है. बट ऑन द होल, हैव यू गिवन इनफ टाइम टू योर चिल्ड्रन एंड साइमल्टेनियसली have you made a success out of your business or your career? I think that's important. And that, in my view, the Stree Shakti, the Stree has all the Shakti to do it. Because, in fact, it's only women who really have that mindset to be able to get that 48 hours out of 24 hours. They have the ability to manage two things simultaneously. They have the ability to multitask. So I think we should take out all this from our mindset and decide that it's possible for us to do it. We will justify to no one else but to ourselves. I think it's important for us to justify to ourselves, because if you think in your mind that you're ignoring your child to run after your business, then I think there's something you need to justify to yourselves. But if you think you are doing the right balance, then I don't think there's any need to justify to anyone at all. Be clear in your mind, keep justifying only to your mind, and move forward. I think that's the only way to move forward. I want to tell the audience a very interesting, which Chanda never highlights. Chanda actually took a year off to, after, I think, your second placement. Yeah, second, no, so, she made, that call, and I think, as she said, that balance is something you have to justify to yourself and no one else. Yes, at the back. Yes. Good evening, ma'am. My question is really that
not meant for this. Maybe I know, maybe this is not where I should be. I should be somewhere else. So how do you make that that decision, that where you want to be, what you want to do? How do you make that decision on the basis of your capabilities?
Yeah, I think it's got to be a combination of what are the opportunities you see at that point in time, and then by your instinct, what appeals more to you. Because, you know, it's very important that you like what you do, because if you don't like what you do, you'll never do it well. So, you know, it has to appeal to you, but it also has to be in that set of opportunity that the environment offers. I mean, otherwise you may like to do something, but if there's no market for that product, that doesn't help either. So I think it's just you gradually feel your way through and you find that mix between the two. But I must say that what is equally important is not to get emotionally attached to an idea for very long, because if you think it's not working, I think it's important also to take a practical call and say, can I try the next idea?
Yeah, my question is related to what you just shared. I have seen ICICI change, I mean, what you said particularly in the start of the session is change, else you'll be left behind. So if I take my example, I have to bring changes in my company. I have 10 ideas. I can change my own product. I can add technology. I can open more branches, whatever. I can do many things. So which one to do first is, if I put all my energies there, so that's the question. Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously, in fact, it's going to be a bad idea to do all 10 things together. But, you know, you can always do one or two. The best way to do is first say, where do I have the best capability? Because, you know, your capability can be in terms of the availability of resources to implement that, or availability of the skill sets to implement that, whatever is critical. But where I think I can really create the most value vis-a-vis the other competitors. So if there are 10 ideas, I think your competitor also will be thinking of the 10 things. But you may be more skilled in setting up the distribution network, whereas the other competitor may really have more advantage on technology. So you rather do what you are best at.
Correct. And also there's, you cannot be too futuristic for technology, which is what I believe. So that decision also has to be taken.
Yeah, but as far as technology is concerned, it's always good to be a little futuristic for sure, because the rate at which technology is moving and the adoption of technology is moving as well. I think if you think of only the present, you will be obsolete before you even realize.
Absolutely, that's why the question.
There's a question there at the back. There's a question in the back, yeah.
Yeah, I just, this is a sort of a follow-up question to the question about the glass ceiling. It's great to hear that you make sure you have a gender unbiased environment. But I was wondering, do you have a gender sensitive environment? For instance, today we've heard a lot of people talking about motherhood. What happens when somebody becomes a mother? When there's a little child to be looked after at home? Or what happens in a city like Bombay if somebody is pregnant and they have to travel long distances to come to work? How does ICICI handle stuff like that?
Yeah, I think that all that we classify as, you know, being a caring organization, rather than saying that we do something very, very special for a particular gender. But I think there is certain kind of care that our people need. And, you know, we focus on then creating a condition or conditions where we can take care of them. So in fact, if some people need long leave, you know, we quite happily give it. And I must tell you that here again, the way the environment is evolving, it's not only women who have some special needs. I also have equally number of men who have come and said that my wife is transferred to such and such a location, and do you think I have a job in that location? Then I'll be very happy. She can go and take that job and I can move, you know, in that job. So there are cases where I have seen that my women employees have, you know, shifted residence over a weekend and not taken any leave at all. But some of the male employees have come and said, I am shifting residence, so I need leave for a week. So I think it's more, you know, what care the people need to handle their own life while they are working with the organization. And that we actually do in a very big way, whether for males or for females.
So we have time only for 2 more questions. Okay. Yeah.
Chandra. Hello?
I think, can you get another mic to her?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello? Thank you for the insightful comments. I think I'm sort of expanding the vision here. But my question to you is, as you're representing India on a global stage now, and you see so many women around from Indian origin representing multiple companies, what do you think is necessary for women sitting here today and otherwise to develop to become the next global Indian leaders, you know, on a global stage?
I think to become a global stage leader, what is important is clearly, are you in any which way creating the best practices rather than just following the best practices? So rather creating the next practices. I think the rate at which the world is evolving and relatively India is evolving, India really offers us great opportunities to do in our businesses things which the developed countries themselves would not have tried. I mean, so, India gave us the opportunity to grow from a 1 million customer base to 20 million customer base in less than 10 years. India gave us the opportunity to use technology in banking in such a manner that we can afford the bank account of a person who keeps only 100 rupees in his account. 100 rupees is $2.50 or $2. So India gives us the opportunity to do affordable innovations. India gives us the scale at which we can try our business models. So some of those things are really what become relevant for the globe. And if you're creating next practices in some form or the other in your business, I think that's, in my view, the first and the basic step to really become, globally relevant in any manner.
Yeah. Yes, and then you wanted to ask, right? There's a lady there. Let her ask and then you can ask. Yeah.
Good evening, ma'am. I'm an aspiring entrepreneur. And you just said that one should get an educational qualification as long as it helps him in pursuing his or her career, right? So my question is, it's not basically a question, it's an obstacle that I am facing. I have educational qualifications that do not support what I really want to do in life. So I'm a passionate dog lover and I want to pursue this passion and make it my profession. As in, I want to start my own dog crutch, okay? So the point is that I don't have a relevant work experience, or I'm not even close, remotely associated with anything that has anything to do with dogs. So what would you advise for a person like me? What would be your advice? Who are passionate, who are determined what they want to do, but they don't know how to go about it.
No, but in this case, then it's the specific knowledge that you need. So I think there is no shortcut but to acquire that knowledge. Because it's not just whether you will get finance or not for that, or whether you will get recognition or not. I think for you yourself to be confident that you can do that activity well, you need to have the basic knowledge. So in a case like this, it's not really getting education as a stamp, but it's really for acquiring the knowledge. And therefore, it's necessary to get it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Good evening. Ma'am, you said India is lacking in venture fund capital to the first generation women entrepreneur. So I would like to know what the ICICI Bank can do for that, so that, the women entrepreneur can get availability of venture capital fund.
It's always the same question.
Yeah, of course. I didn't say that it's lacking only for women entrepreneurs. I said in general, actually, India needs much more of that first generation financing capability. To some extent, we also have this ICICI Ventures, which supports, the first generation business concepts. But again, it's always very attractive to look at the second stage and the third stage of companies rather than looking at the first stage of companies. So I think it's nothing much more but the mindset of all of us in the finance business, including for, say, the ICICI group, to get more focused on doing this first stage financing.
Chanda, I'm going to just end up asking you one last question. That do you think that it's important for women to be very competitive to be successful as entrepreneurs? I mean, underlying a lot of what we've been saying is a bit of that. And, you know, you've dealt with a lot of other entrepreneurs besides running a large organization. And what do you think about that?
But tell me, who can succeed without being competitive? I mean, even for males, it's equally important to be competitive. I think we are living in an environment that's competitive. So you always have to have the passion of doing anything that you're doing better than the other. And what is competitiveness? The competitiveness is to say, can I keep improving on what I'm doing, and can I do something better than what that person is doing? And in a competitive environment, that's the only way you will move forward. That's the only way your business will do better than the other person's business. That's the only way you will move further in the organization. So I think in a dynamic, growing, competitive environment, some spirit of competitiveness is just required for everybody, whether it's a male or a female.
Thank you, Chanda. I think on that note of telling all of us to really have the spirit of competition and excellence. Thank you very much. I hope everyone here has certainly enjoyed what you have said, and I hope we will remember what you have told us. Thank you very much.